Welcome to our information meeting for Littletown Junior. It's really exciting to see you all here. Thank you very, very much for coming. What I'm going to do is just start in prayer. So dear Lord, thank you for bringing us all here. Thank you for giving us this vision to run a Littletown Junior. We ask that you bless our time together and also bless the preparation for our production later in the year. In your name we pray. Okay. So, welcome. I've got just all the information up there, which you've probably seen, hopefully, already. And all that information will keep going up on Facebook of all the information you need. The most important bit is if you're going to audition, we do need you to download the information pack and to sign up online before the audition day, because we need all your medical details since we're running a workshop style audition, so we need all those details before audition day, and so that is on our website up there. Next slide please, let's go. Okay, going to give you just a little bit of a history of where we're going. Yeah, sorry, there's like lots of writing up there. So first of all, Littletown's been going since 1999, long time. Started off as Christmas plays, and then also had some Easter plays in there as well. Then we moved on to, I think Kick Off Your Boots happened first, and that was in 2021, John? Yep, 2021. And that was, or that is, a farming play looking at the theme of the struggles in farming families and the struggles of mental health and financial burdens, and it has gone all over South Australia and nationwide, now in a video format. We then had, in 2021, we did Shine, which was an illumination on the facade of the church, which was an animation, and that was a big project which we did with Illuminat? Yep, that's right, good. Okay, and that is where kind of the vision for Littletown Junior popped up in my mind. So we'd stopped having Christmas plays in 2019, was the last Christmas play that we did. And so we've had a bit of a break, and Shine showed us that there was a real need for something for families in the Riverland for Christmas. And with running Kick Off Your Boots, the reason for a junior version is so that we're not using the same cast in both of our productions. So that Kick Off Your Boots it uses an adult cast, and Littletown Junior uses primarily a children and youth cast. The other reason also was to really focus on creating a family Christmas experience, and so we've decided on the junior format, so children and youth ages 8 to 18 in the cast as well as in the band, and as part of the backstage crew, sound and lighting, as well as in those roles there's also adults supervising them in that. One of the things that has been amazing in our whole Littletown journey from 1999 up until now is that a lot of the people that have been part of our cast as juniors have gone on into careers in the arts. So we've got some who have gone off into performing arts careers. We've had, so our Angel Desiree, she sings with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra and the State Opera Company. And we've got a couple of our younger, well, in the past few years, they've gone off to study musical theatre. We've also got some who've gone off to study in film and television, in animation, and a few others areas of the backstage parts of the performing arts. So that's another reason why we wanted to bring in a junior version, was to continue to develop the skills of those in our congregations and also those in the Riverland through this sort of opportunity. So our production vision is to share the true meaning of Christmas through a junior musical, connecting the story to the modern world through the eyes of the nativity characters, and also to provide a family experience as well. So what we're running concurrently is hopefully a family activity area in Peace Hall, which is called Journey to Bethlehem, and it's being run by Lauren Grieger, and we will have lots of Christmas activities set up for families to go and experience that as well. So we're hoping to create a real big family Christmas experience that they can come and be part of. All right, next slide, thanks Oscar. All right, so what does a Little Town production look like? Thanks to Oscar before, you saw the video that he has grabbed all the videos, DVDs that we could find of past performances, and he's meshed that together. So if you missed seeing the whole loop of that, I'll put it up on Facebook this week so that you can see what a production actually looks like, because we haven't had one since 2019. But you can see that what we have is this whole front of the church here is converted into Bethlehem. This year we're going to have the hill that we've used in the past, and it's going to be the wise men there and their house. Then we're going to have over here is going to be like Bethlehem, the town, and then in the middle is going to be the stable. It's using, if you can see the top left-hand picture there, it's using that set from a previous time that we will be repainting or putting some skins on top of the beautifully painted hill that we don't want to paint over. And then, yeah, so you can see that we have used a lot of children in the past. I've grabbed all the photos that I could with anyone under the age of 18. And they have sometimes had roles with lines, and sometimes they were part of the ensemble. Yep, keep going, Oscar. Then alongside it, with the idea of the family or children's activity area, we have always dressed up the outside of the church. We've had markets in the past and decorated everything so that what you actually experience is like walking, like you feel like you're walking into Bethlehem and walking into the story. Yep. Next one. Okay, so our production team. We've got myself, I'm doing all the administration type work in this. So if you've got any questions at all, please come to me and talk to me so that the rest of our team can focus on being the creative side and they don't need to deal with any questions. Then we've got Karen Scoot is script, music, vocals and band. Jordan is our, wave, Jordan. So this is Karen down here. And Jordan is our doing creative directing and our graphic artwork. She's done all our logos and most of our Facebook posts. Jenny Sander is our doing creative directing and vocals. Laura Carlson is doing choreography. We've got Claire Ryman is heading up costumes. Sue Ellen and Sonia are our rehearsal assistants. Andrew Cranbrook's doing lighting and sound. Gemma is sets props backstage. Brenton is doing church safe, cast and crew forms, website and ticketing. So just for your, so you understand what church safe is, to be part of a production team or any sort of ministry within the church, we need to make sure that we are doing the church safe levels, which is a bit like doing your RAN and things like that to work in schools. So we have the same processes in churches, so he's in charge of that. And then Kelvin is doing all our logistics from the St. Peter's point of view as a church, just making sure that everything works, really, and that we can get everything done. All right, next one. Sorry, Karen's going to talk about the synopsis of the play.
Hello everybody, lovely to see you. Can I just say one thing? This is not a play, this is a musical, and we have songs that are part of the musical. So we're going to call it a musical from now on because it's got amazing songs in it. No, all good, all good. The script is called Nativity 1.0. Now, my first question to you is, what does nativity mean? What does the word nativity mean? Why are we calling I nearly said it. Why are we calling our musical Nativity 1.0? We hear it every Christmas. What does it actually mean? Yeah, we're recreating the birth of Jesus. Yeah, the word nativity, I actually looked it up because I didn't know what it meant either. All I know is that it means something to do with Christmas and birth of Jesus. The word nativity actually means your birth. So everybody here has had a nativity. That was the day you were born. That's your nativity. And when we have a birthday, we celebrate your birth, which is like your nativity. The most important birth that we've had on earth was Jesus Christ, and we celebrate Jesus' nativity instead of, well, we could call it his birthday. Same thing. So Nativity 1.0 is all about the birth of Jesus. John Gladigo, who's quietly sitting up the back, he wrote this script in 1999, 2000. This was the script, the basis of this script is what they used in the very first Little Town back in 1999. And I sat in the audience and watched that one, and I loved it. And I thought it was funny, and I thought it was clever, and they did it really well. And from that point on, I started to be involved, and now I'm helping to write the script with John. I've tidied some of the old language up, made it a little bit newer. We're talking 20 plus years ago. So yeah, we say things a little bit different now. And they had a few songs, but I've taken those out and put 3 brand new original songs in it. And we'll run through that later on. But first of all, I just wanted to show you quickly through the script, because if you're going to be part of this, you want to know what you're going to do. It's roughly 45 minutes. We don't really know until we've gone through it. But it's roughly going to be about 45 minutes long. So it's not a long musical. It doesn't have an interval. We're just doing 5 scenes from start to finish. It starts, as Cheryl said, it starts with the wise men. And the wise men are going to be up on, we call it the hill, but it's actually going to be the castle. So one of them lives in a palace, and it's very opulent and very wealthy. And so they're high up to signify that they're more important than everybody else. We start with the wise men. There are only 2 wise men in this show. And Littletown has traditionally only ever had 2 wise men. Because it doesn't actually say anywhere in the Bible that there were 3. Somewhere along the line we have decided that we like having 3 wise men. Doesn't actually say that anywhere, so we deliberately always have only had 2. So we have 2 wise men, and they have names, and they are in their palace, being very important and very rich. As opposed to scene 2, which is Bethlehem. Bethlehem is down here, where it's a bit dusty, a bit busy, a bit chaotic. There are lots of people, and they're not very wealthy. So you get the difference between the high and the mighty and the lowly people that live in Bethlehem, but they're still having fun. And they sing the first song of the show. So it's a whole song that everybody sings, although it has got some rap parts, and so if you are good at keeping a beat we'd love to have a couple of solos in that. All right. Then, scene 3 is when the chaos and what's happening in Bethlehem dies down because it's night time, and Mary and Joseph come through, and they've been travelling all day. They come through town and they meet the innkeeper, and there's a whole scene with Mary and Joseph and the innkeeper. Jordan, who's going to be our director, is going to tell you all about those characters shortly. But Mary and Joseph, the innkeeper, is scene 3. There's no songs in scene 3. Scene 4 is the spectacular entry of the angels to the shepherds. So we have shepherds that are looking after the sheep, and they are roughly here. They have a little bonfire. There might be some sheep running through. And they think their life is pretty fun, pretty nice, pretty cruisy, and then suddenly the angel appears, and we're going to then again use the height of the hill and have the angels appear. We have got it written for 4 angels that sing, and they sing in harmony. The harmony's nice and simple, but it is a really nice, I call it a pop ballad style song where one angel sings to the shepherds and the other ones come in and sing together with the lead angel. And then we're going to have as many other angels as we possibly can coming up the aisles, and so we're filling the church with angels. So bring your friends if they want to be in a show and be an angel. Bring your friends, because we need lots of angels to fill up the aisles and the gaps. C5. Scene 5 is where the shepherds come to Bethlehem and they are looking for the baby. So there's a few, there's a few jokes, but there's a few conversations about where to find the baby. They converse with the innkeeper, and finally, unexpectedly for them, they find the baby in the stable. And then the final scene is where the wise men also find the baby, and we finish with everybody on stage, including the angels, everybody who's been in the show, everybody's on stage for the last song. And we finish with a real baby. So if you're Mary and Joseph, you have a big responsibility of looking after somebody else's baby. The real baby will have it in the manger with Mary and Joseph and everybody around them. And we finish with the final song. So, around about 45 minutes, not long, not a lot of lines to learn. There are a couple of characters that have lines. And I'm going to pass it to Jordan to tell you all about those characters.
Alrighty. So, as Karen said, we are planning to have real-life babies for our production. So if you know of anyone who is pregnant and going to pop around November, early December, please let us know, because it would be really cool to have those little kids in our production, because we want to invite others into our family. Anyway, going on. So we'll start off with Mary and Joseph. So Mary needs to be comfortable holding a baby. As we said, we're going to have a real life baby. So she needs to be confident with that. She's gentle, she's caring, very sweet, of course. Joseph is very chatty, has a lot to say, and definitely devoted to Mary. He isn't a singing character, so if you don't want to sing, he doesn't sing. He very much likes to save his money where he can. We have Mian and Gupta, so they are our wise men. Gupta is very big and open about his wealth. He very much puts it out there. Everyone knows he's rich. Mian as well, but he is probably more of the theologian within the two of them. He does the background research, whereas Gupta is the front man. He's the show-off. The two wise men, they do sing a song. So if you go for those two guys, you will need to be confident in singing. We then have our innkeeper. He is a very tired, grumpy man. He doesn't like being woken up at night, as many of us don't. But of course, with the census being around, he gets the very occasional, not so occasional, visitor to his door within the wee hours. So very, very tired, very overworked, got a pesky wife who keeps asking him to do things, too many people trying to come, and can't read his new no vacancy sign. He does sing, so we'll need to be confident. We then have our four shepherds. So Simon, he's a well-aged, seasoned shepherd. He very much has his way of doing things. He likes that. He does not like change. And that is hard when he has a couple of younger shepherds who like to introduce new technologies and things to help them with their work. You've then got Jeremiah, a keen shepherd, active. He's like within the age of that older guy, Simon, and the younger ones, and he kind of like sees and respects Simon, but at the same time he's like, but these guys and what they're introducing are really helpful. So he is the gap. He bridges that gap. You then have Leah. She's from the city. She's a new but very, very motivated and spirited shepherd, and doesn't quite understand all the shepherding world yet, and probably wears something a little bit less shepherd-like at this stage, because she doesn't realise how dirty you get. We then have Leah. No, sorry, I just said that. Jethro. Jethro doesn't have any lines. He is a very fun character, so it's a lot of acting for him, very big. He's a very new shepherd, probably doesn't so much like shepherding, but just kind of pushed into it. And he just does what the others tell him. He's kind of like the go boy, the run boy. Runs all the errands. So the three male shepherds, they can also be female characters. So if you find one of those four male shepherds and you go, yeah, I want to be that, we can change those characters to a female if you are interested, and if we think you would be good in that role. We then have our angels, so there will be 4, possibly more angels who will have a singing line all by themselves, so solo. And then our angel ensemble as well, so they will also be singing and dancing. We have our wise man entourage, so they will be hanging out in the wise man scene, whether that will be fanning the wise men or bringing food on. You'll receive those directions. And then we have our Bethlehem townspeople, and they will be in and amongst making the chaos of Bethlehem. Yeah. Anything I need to add? Cool. Yeah, all of that is in the information pack, so you can reread it for yourself and go, yep, this is the character I want to go for.
Afternoon, I'm Jenny, for those that don't know who I am. Who here has maybe had an audition before for anything? Maybe it's a choir solo or for anything else. So generally, when one comes to an audition, you walk into a room all by yourself and there's a group of people staring at you and you sing at them, and it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. Little Town, we do it slightly different because we're all about community and all about the family that is Little Town. So for our audition, we have a workshop, which is next 2 weeks' time, 12th of October, am I correct? My brain working. And in that time, you'll have an opportunity if you want to show off your acting skills or your movement skills or your dancing skills. All of that will be observed in group-based manner. So all in a room doing some groovy moves together, or with someone else pretending to be different characters, so we can see everyone enjoying themselves and having fun and giving it a go, and we observe that way. There is one element of independent, and that is for those that want to do those singing specific roles. And during the audition time, myself and Karen will come and find you, and we'll just want to hear how your voice is and hear you sing. So whether it's singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or you know every line to the Macarena and you'd like to do that, go for it. But it's in that moment that for those specific roles where you are singing solo, we just want to make sure that you actually can confidently hold a tune, because that's what we are. We are a musical and it's all about the music. But most people, if not in those singing roles, will be singing. So if you love singing, you're in the right place for this show. So we'll start off the day with some group work, some groovy moves. I will not be participating in the groovy movement. I will be observing the groovy movement. I leave that up to others. But how we see is that people in our creative team, we will have a checklist, checkboard type thing, and we're observing the whole time. And we can recognise that, oh, that person's really quite good, I recommend them for this sort of role. Does that make some sense for everyone? So we want you to come and, one, have fun, enjoy yourself, because the greater that the community is, the greater that we connect as a cast, the better this show is going to be. And that's what we're all about. It's about that heart, and not coming and just doing a musical, but being a family together and showing the love of Jesus through this show. Thank you.
Let's take next slide.
Next slide.
Things you want to bring.
Oh yes. So this is all in the audition pack. I'm very much one, it's on paper, go and read it. But please make sure that we love water, there will be some break times. Wear comfy clothing. We're not there to show off our Gucci wear. We're there to just be enjoyable. Water bottle, please don't bring your phones and things. We don't need them, they're just a distraction. I'm going to leave mine at home. I'll quite happily do that. Thank you. No one can contact any medications or anything else, which is what's really important for that pre-process of any medical details being put up, so that we can make sure that all of us here can keep everyone safe during the audition. Any other questions? I don't think we'll have more questions afterwards, but yes. Thank you, and look forward to watching you groove and move and sing and strut your stuff on audition day. Thank you.
Hello. For those of you who don't like grooving and moving, there's the backstage crew. So, yeah, if you are one of these people who likes all the lights or the sound stuff, or likes what Oscar's doing back there, doing whatever he's doing there, I don't know anymore. You can do the backstage or tech stuff. So that's with me, I'm Andrew, if you don't know that. It's also a great option if the rest of your family is involved and you're like, what do I do on a Sunday afternoon? Come join us, we'll give you some jobs to do. Our commitment is a lot shorter than the cast, so the cast they'll be practicing for a long time. In backstage and tech, we are involved for a lot shorter time, but it's really intense for that short time. So yeah, if you're in the backstage stuff, there might be a few set pieces to move around. Sound, lighting, it's mainly button pressing. Okay, so great opportunities to learn some cool skills and stuff. But yeah, that's an option for you as well. And you apply in a similar way, I believe.
Yep, so an information pack.
Yep, so look at the information pack if you're interested in that one. Alright, who's next?
Thank you. It is. Okay, so our commitments, your commitments. If you're going to be part of the cast, first of all, we need you to audition. If you can't audition in person because it is holidays or the last week and the holidays, we're quite happy for you to submit a video audition, and information is in the information pack on how to do that. So we would prefer you to be part of the auditions if you can, because then we can see what you can do and how you work with others. And it helps us to cast the different roles, looking at how well you work with different people. Rehearsals. So we will have rehearsals every Sunday afternoon, starting from the 19th of October. We've put aside from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. You may not be required every week. You may not be required for the full 4 hours. That will be communicated at the beginning of each week in our newsletter, which is actually going to be a live sway, which I keep editing every week. So you just go to the one place to have a look at the information. So depending on what your role is and depending what we're focusing on that week is whether you'll be required or not. But please pencil in all those dates. We do require that you are called that you are there, which is why we ask that you put those dates aside. And we do have in our terms and conditions that if you are away for more than 2 rehearsals, then we may need to say that you can't be part of the production because it's a team environment and we need to work together as a team and make sure that everyone is there. It's really hard when people are not at rehearsals and then we are struggling to, or everyone around you is struggling to understand what to do when someone is not there. So that's why we've got that there. If you are a character that has lines or maybe some singing parts, you may be required for the photo shoot. Or actually we may even ask some of the other people there as well. So those that we think we'd like to have in the photo shoot, that will be a compulsory rehearsal to be part of. We want to create, we've got Italo Vidaro coming up to take photos for us, and we'll be creating little scenes with that. So we'll make a list of those people that we would like to be part of that photo shoot. And so that is November the 2nd. Then we've got Performance Week. In Performance Week, Sunday the 14th is our dress rehearsal. That is compulsory. Everyone must be there for that rehearsal. Monday the 15th is, from 5 p.m. onwards, is a tech rehearsal. So a tech rehearsal is anyone who uses a microphone needs to come along to that rehearsal. Then Wednesday the 17th is going to be our dress rehearsal, which is everyone needs to be there for that one. And then we've got our performances, 19th, 20th and 21st. Now the performances are 6 p.m. and 8 p.m, but I've got to put up there that you need to be available from 4:30 onwards so that we can get you ready for microphone, make sure you've got all your makeup done, and hair and costuming. So that's what the commitment will be. Right, next one. So we've been talking about Little Town Family. This community is a really beautiful community that we have created over the years, and everyone that is involved feels like they are part of this little community, and we like to call it a family. So what we aim for is that every cast member is treated with love, care and respect. Each role, no matter which role you are in, is important. In the nativity story, everyone in that story was extremely important. If we're going to say there's a lead, it was baby Jesus. And so we don't look in the traditional sense of musicals. We do not look at those who have got speaking lines as a lead or more important, because every person on stage is telling the story, the nativity story. And so it's really important that as a team, we treat everyone like that. And so if we ever use the word lead, we use it just to make sure that people know that if I've got a microphone on, I need to be at that rehearsal or at that place in time. That's the only time we would use the word lead, just to differentiate between those with microphones and those without. There is no cost to being part of this family. So for other musicals or organisations that you may have been part of, there might be an affiliation fee or insurance fee or something like that. We don't have a fee like that. It's free for you to be part of our musical. The cost that you might choose to take up is we've got t-shirts that are going to be available for purchase. That is, fingers crossed, going to be sorted this week. We just need to get it up on the website. So keep your eye out on our newsletter that I will send out to you to get the information to order those. They are both in children's and adult sizes, so anyone in your family can purchase one. You can either have a small logo there or a big logo across the front of the t-shirt. Then purchasing tickets. Because we don't have a fee-paying, it's not a fee-paying group, then we don't have free tickets to give out. And the tickets are going to be really cheap anyway. So as families, you'll need to purchase tickets. And then we are going to be videoing the performance, and that will be available to purchase as well. So, our communication. When you sign up, actually, first of all, this is our public communication. So what's out there for the public? We've got our Facebook page. If you haven't liked that, click on follow and like that, and then share to all your family and friends. Then we've got our St. Peter's website is where our Littletown productions for Littletown Junior is being hosted. Yep, that link is in Facebook, or just go to the St. Peter's Lutheran Church website under Ministries and you can find it there. So please share with those with family and friends. Next one. Our private communication is going to be via WhatsApp. So we've got a WhatsApp group. When you fill out the audition form, an email communication we sent to you once you've filled that out, and it gives you a link for the WhatsApp group, which I will post messages on. And then we've got a Sway newsletter. It sits, when you get the link, which will be emailed out when you fill out the audition form, it's a private web link that will be sent in that email. And it's a private page on the St. Peter's website that the public can't see. So all of that, on that website, it'll be what I call a live rolling newsletter. So every week I will update that information in there. There is different headings for all the different things. There's places for Jordan to have her say, Jenny to have her say, Karen to have her say, to share messages with you guys. All the ticketing, all the t-shirts, ordering of t-shirts, anything to do with costuming or makeup. And then our rehearsal schedule for that week will be up there as to who needs to come to rehearsals for that week. So it's a new thing we're trialling this year, rather than sending out an individual email and then you've got to try and scroll through your thousands of emails to work out which one was week 3, which had the information about the t-shirts, and now I can't find it. So hopefully that's going to help. Adults, parents, would you like to help? I'm not going to read all those jobs. There are lots of things that are behind the scenes that we do need help with, and if you would like to be involved when your child is involved, we would love some help. So please come and talk to me about helping out in any of those ways. So that ends all the information that we've got to go through, and what I'll do now is open up for questions. So if anyone's got any questions that they would like to ask. Everyone's all good? Awesome. Okay. Jordan, would you like to pray to end? I'll throw it out to you. By the way, Jordan was our first ever baby. And then you were...
and then I was one of the other... Oh, Angels, of course. And then other characters. And then I was eventually Mary. And then what else have I done? I've done backstage and sets and props and what other areas that have been needed.
So we thought it was really fitting that she'd be our first creative director. So, thanks.
I just want to say as well, you don't need to be a part of St. Peter's to be a part of Little Town. So our creative team are made up from people all across the Riverland. So yeah, encourage your friends and family, even if they aren't part of this church, to come and be a part of Little Town, because genuinely it is so good. It is such a big family. I have loved my experience being with Little Town, and yeah, that's why I said yes to being director. All right, let's pray. Hey God, thank you so much for bringing each one of these beautiful people here today, Lord. I just pray over Little Town and the message it's going to send out to others and the family that we get to create with each other, Lord. Yeah, I just pray for these roles to be filled with people who are passionate and eager and keen to be a part of this family, Lord, and to share your message and love you the way that we all do. I lift up this week and these holidays and this time where these guys are considering coming into this role and coming into this family, Lord. I just lift that up to you and ask for your blessings over it all. In Jesus' name, amen. If you have any questions, feel free to come and find one of us. Otherwise, you are welcome to chat to each other or head off. Yeah, thank you for coming.